Yeah, well, you listen to Stephen Gerrard's interview there. He's asking the players to take responsibility now. Basically, he's asking them to wake up. Look, it's still, I think it's too early to judge, but they need to get up and running quickly. The performance, I only seen the highlights. I was training last night. The first half wasn't what Rangers have, the standards they've set last season. Second half was better, going down to 10 men. The positives is they still won the game, not playing at their best. And obviously Wright, I thought, come on in the second half for Kent. I thought he looked really bright. Bassey again came in at left back, done really well. So that's the positives, but you can hear the manager's not too happy, and he's wanting the more experienced, the leaders in the camp, to take the responsibility.
And they were booed at half time going off, and you made changes then.
That's what happens. John will tell you the same thing at Celtic. When you don't play well, the fans expect standards, and if you dip below those standards, the fans will have a pop at you. That's just what happens when you play at the Old Firm.
They've just won the title by 25 points.
Yeah, but that's in the past. That's in the past.
It's only now that matters, isn't it? That season has gone. You've always said it's harder to defend the title. I know this is a completely different tournament, but the season hasn't got going. He was asked though about, well, what's happened with Ryan Kent, who was amazing last season but not so far this year.
That's a question you need to ask Ryan when he faces the media. I'm sure he'll be facing the media in the coming weeks. I think it's clear that he's not at his best level right now. You know, as his manager and the staff will give him the support he needs to try and get him back in the best place as quick as we can. Ryan's been absolutely phenomenal for me in the club since he's walked through the door. Very rare to see him when he's not in top form. This is it, he's human. It happens. I had more dips in form than anyone out there, so I understand that. He needs myself now and the staff and his teammates to get round him, and it'll only take that one bit of moment of brilliance or that one big performance and he'll be back in the place we need him.
John, what do you feel about Rangers last night? Stephen Gerrard really frank about it there, really honest.
Yeah. Well, I think he is honest with his assessment of the players and the performance. I just think he looked at Alashkert and he's thinking, well, we should be putting this team to sword. We should be winning this game 2 or 3. Now, I know it's not a switch. Football's not a switch. And they have had a blip, Rangers. They have had a blip. They possibly feel they should have gone through against Malmo. When everything went for them, they got the early goal at Ibrox, you know, to bring it back to level. And then Malmo get a player sent off. Everything went for them. And then they switch off in the second half. Whereas for the last 14 months, Rangers have done everything spectacularly well, both in the league, never lost a league game, already lost one this season. Now, Celtic lost the first game away at Hearts also, but everything's gone so rosy and so well. And there's just the way that Rangers have played lately, in terms of going out to the Champions League qualifier, poor last night in the first half, losing one league, it gives people an opportunity to have a go. It gives people an opportunity to question Steven Gerrard and to question his team. Now, what he's probably feeling last night is that we should have put this team to the sword, you know, and then have an easier night next week when they go away to Alashkert, because they're not a particularly good side. I mean, Andy Morrison the other week, you know, they only knocked Connors Key. Just very, very. It was a tight game. Connors Key playing the Welsh Premier League. You know, so in terms of that, I think Stephen's made a few changes to his team as well. I think he's just still trying to find his best 11. Morelos have stepped up for him this season. That's a huge positive. And it's just a blip. You know, as I said, we've played, 2 league games? And people are talking about, you know, but as I said, I think they'll go to Alashkert next week. And I think they'll win comfortably.
Tell Alexa to launch Go Radio or listen on the Go Radio app.